Is love necessary in Stoicism? It's a question that prompts a journey into the philosophical minds of the ancient Stoics. Love, a concept so intricate and deeply human, intertwined with Stoicism, a school of thought promoting virtue as the highest form of happiness. But how do these two seemingly different paradigms connect? What role does love play in the Stoic pursuit of a virtuous life? These are the questions that beckon us forward. Join us as we delve into the philosophical depths of love and Stoicism. To fully grasp the concept of love in Stoicism, we first need to understand its roots. In the bustling markets and grand halls of ancient Greece, a new philosophy began to take shape. Stoicism, as it would come to be known, was founded by Zeno of Citium around the 3rd century BC. Zeno was a merchant by trade, but after a shipwreck left him stranded in Athens, he turned to philosophy and began teaching in a public hall known as the Stoa Poikile, or painted porch, hence the name Stoicism. Stoicism is a school of thought that places great emphasis on virtue and moral character. The Stoics believed that the best way to live a good life was to align oneself with nature's laws and order. They held that emotions like fear, anger, and even passionate love are the result of false judgments, and that peace of mind comes from understanding and accepting the world as it is, not as we wish it to be. Among the key figures of Stoicism were Epictetus, a former slave who became a renowned teacher, Seneca, a statesman and dramatist, and the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, whose personal writings, now known as the Meditations, offer a unique insight into the Stoic mindset. Stoics seek to maintain equanimity in the face of life's ups and downs, and they advocate for the cultivation of 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Stoicism teaches that it's not events themselves that disturb people, but their judgments about them. However, Stoicism is not about suppressing emotions, but rather understanding and managing them. It encourages us to take control of our mental and emotional states, rather than being controlled by them. It's about finding tranquility and contentment in a world that is often chaotic and unpredictable. This philosophy has stood the test of time, influencing countless individuals and ideas throughout history, and continues to be relevant in our modern world. It provides practical guidance on how to lead a fulfilling life, regardless of external circumstances. Now that we understand the foundation of Stoicism, we can start to explore the role of love within this philosophical framework. The Stoics of the early period held unique perspectives on love. The early Stoic philosophers such as Zeno and Cleanthes considered love not as a mere emotion, but as a reflection of reason and virtue. They believed in the concept of a universal brotherhood of humanity, where love was seen as a rational and virtuous response to the understanding of our interconnectedness. The early Stoics, in their pursuit of wisdom, sought to understand the nature of the universe and our place within it. They believed that love, in its truest form, was a reflection of this understanding. Love, for them, was not an emotion to be pursued for personal satisfaction, but a state of being that arose from the cultivation of reason and virtue. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, viewed love as a form of friendship. He argued that it was based on mutual respect and shared understanding rather than physical attraction or emotional attachment. For Zeno, love was about appreciating the virtue in another and seeking to cultivate it within oneself. Cleanthes, another prominent Stoic of this period, held a similar view. He believed that love was the natural outcome of recognizing the value of virtue in others. He saw love as a rational response to the beauty of virtue, a reflection of our innate desire for goodness. The early Stoics, thus, viewed love as a virtuous response to the understanding of our interconnectedness with others. It was about recognizing the virtue in others and seeking to cultivate it within ourselves. Love for them was a manifestation of wisdom, a reflection of our understanding of the universe and our place within it. However, as we delve deeper into the evolution of Stoic thought, we find that these views on love were not static. They evolved, just as the philosophy itself did, adapting to new insights and perspectives. Each subsequent generation of Stoics brought with it a fresh interpretation of love, adding depth and nuance to the Stoic understanding of this complex emotion. As Stoicism evolved, so did its interpretation of love. The middle period of Stoicism brought about subtle shifts in the understanding of love. This era, known as Middle Stoicism, was a phase of evolution and refinement in Stoic philosophy. It spanned from the late 2nd century BCE to the early 1st century CE, and was marked by the works of philosophers like Panaetius and Posidonius. Panaetius, a philosopher from Rhodes, was one of the pivotal figures of this period. He was known for his pragmatic approach to Stoicism, often integrating elements of Platonism and Aristotelianism into his theories. When it came to love, Panaetius proposed that it was not just a mere distraction or a disturbance of the mind, as earlier Stoics had suggested. Instead, he saw love as a natural and essential component of social bonding. This view was further developed by Posidonius, who came a generation after Panaetius. Posidonius, unlike his predecessors, saw love not just as a social tool, but also as a powerful force that could lead to personal growth. He argued that love, when aligned with reason and virtue, could be a catalyst for moral development. Posidonius suggested that love, when pursued with wisdom and temperance, could lead to a deeper understanding of oneself and others. This shift in perspective was subtle but significant. It marked the beginning of a more nuanced approach to love within Stoicism. Love was no longer seen as a mere disturbance to be avoided, but as a complex, multifaceted phenomenon that could be both beneficial and detrimental, depending on how it was approached. This period also saw the incorporation of the concept of oikeiosis, or appropriation, into Stoic philosophy. This concept, which deals with the natural inclination towards self-love and self-preservation, was used to explain the origins and nature of human affection and social bonds. In essence, the Middle Stoic period brought a fresh perspective to the Stoic understanding of love. It paved the way for the inclusion of love as a topic of serious philosophical inquiry within Stoic thought. The Middle Period set the stage for the final evolution of Stoic views on love. The late period of Stoicism saw a more nuanced understanding of love. As we delve into the late Stoic period, we'll find a more refined perspective on love. This stage of Stoicism was marked by philosophers such as Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, each of whom had unique insights into the nature of love. Seneca, a prominent figure of this era, spoke of love as a natural affection that should be governed by reason. He believed that love, when controlled by wisdom, could lead to tranquility and virtue. Seneca's writings suggest that love can be a path to self-improvement and moral growth, but only if we practice it with rationality and moderation. Epictetus, another influential Stoic philosopher, viewed love as a duty. He argued that love was an essential part of our social responsibility, a bond that connects us with others. For Epictetus, love wasn't merely an emotion, but a commitment to the well-being of our fellow human beings. Then we have Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, who saw love as an integral part of the cosmic order. Aurelius believed that love was the force that held the universe together, a divine principle that governed all things. His meditations are filled with reflections on universal love, an idea that he saw as a guiding principle for a virtuous life. These views on love, while distinct, share a common thread. They all see love as something more than just an emotion. Whether it's a path to virtue, a social duty, or a cosmic principle, love is seen as something that can enrich our lives and elevate our character. Over time, the Stoic perspective on love had evolved from a rigid to a more nuanced understanding. This evolution reflects the rich tapestry of Stoic thought, a philosophy that continues to inspire and challenge us even today. And as we move on to the modern interpretation of Stoicism, we'll see how these ancient ideas continue to resonate in our contemporary world. In the modern era, Stoicism and its views on love have been interpreted in new ways. The advent of contemporary thought contributed to a re-evaluation and reinterpretation of Stoic principles, including the understanding of love. In the pantheon of modern philosophers, Stoicism has found a renewed relevance. Its teachings on love, in particular, have been studied and interpreted through a modern lens. Today's thinkers frame love not merely as a passion, but as a rational emotion that can be harnessed for personal growth and development. Contemporary philosophers draw from the Stoic belief that love, like all emotions, is a response to our judgments. They argue that love is not an uncontrollable force that overwhelms us, but a reasoned reaction to the values we perceive in others. They emphasize that love, in its purest form, is the recognition and appreciation of virtue in another person. the modern Stoic approach to love also highlights the importance of self-love. This isn't about vanity or narcissism, but rather about understanding and accepting oneself, flaws and all. It's about fostering a healthy relationship with oneself as a foundation for loving others. This interpretation aligns with the Stoic ideal of self-mastery and emotional resilience. The Stoic understanding of love, according to contemporary thought, is also reflected in the concept of universal love, or agape. This is the unconditional love for all humanity, a love that transcends personal relationships and extends to strangers, even to those who may have wronged us. This reinterpretation resonates with the Stoic teachings of empathy, understanding, and acceptance. In essence, the modern interpretation of love in Stoicism is about rationality, self-acceptance, and universal compassion. It's about seeing love not as a source of torment, but as a pathway to personal growth and societal harmony. Regardless of the era, the Stoic understanding of love has always revolved around the core principles of reason and virtue. This timeless philosophy, whether in ancient Greece or the 21st century, continues to shed light on the complexities of human emotions, offering insights that remain as relevant today as they were over 2 millennia ago. So, is love necessary in Stoicism? This question in many ways captures the heart of the Stoic philosophy. Stoicism, as we've journeyed through its evolution, has always grappled with the role of emotions and desires, and love, being one of the most potent of these, is no exception. Historically, early Stoics viewed love as a natural and acceptable desire, as long as it was guided by reason. Love was seen as a motivating force, a catalyst for the pursuit of wisdom and virtue. It was not about possession or obsession, but about a shared journey towards understanding the nature of the universe and our place within it. In the Middle and Late Stoic periods, this view of love remained largely unchanged. Love was still seen as a necessary component of a virtuous life, but it was also seen as something that could lead to emotional turmoil if not tempered by reason. The Stoics believed that love, like any other emotion, should be experienced in moderation and guided by wisdom. Fast forward to the modern interpretation of Stoicism, and we find a similar sentiment. Love, in the Stoic sense, is not about romantic passion as we often understand it today. It's about a deep, profound connection with another being, a connection that is rooted in mutual respect, understanding, and shared values. This is not to say that Stoics are devoid of passion or that they shun the idea of romantic love. On the contrary, Stoics embrace love in all its forms, but they do so with a clear understanding that love, like all things, is transient and subject to change. They understand that true love is not about clinging or attachment, but about appreciating the present moment, the here and now, with the person you love. So is love necessary in Stoicism? The answer, it seems, is a resounding yes. But it is a love that is guided by reason, tempered by wisdom, and rooted in virtue. It is a love that understands the impermanence of life and cherishes the fleeting moments of connection and understanding. Love in Stoicism isn't just about passion, it's about virtue, reason, and the pursuit of wisdom. Today, we've journeyed through the philosophical landscape of Stoicism and love. We've traced the footsteps of ancient Stoic philosophers, from their early discourses on love to the more nuanced interpretations of the Middle and Late Stoic periods. As we reflect on this journey, let's take a moment to summarize the significant points we've uncovered along the way. In the birth of Stoicism, we discovered that love was not initially a prominent theme. Stoicism was more focused on self-control, virtue, and acceptance of the natural order of things. Love, in its emotional and passionate forms, was often seen as a distraction, a potential source of imbalance and irrationality. As we ventured into the early Stoic views on love, we noted a subtle shift. Love was not wholly dismissed. Instead, it was reinterpreted as a form of friendship or brotherly affection. This love was rational, based on mutual respect and shared virtues rather than raw emotion. In the Middle Stoic period, philosophers began to ponder the value of romantic love. While they remained cautious, acknowledging the potential pitfalls of passion, they also recognized the deep connections and personal growth that love could foster. The Late Stoic period saw a further evolution. Love was discussed in the context of broader societal and familial relationships. Philosophers highlighted the importance of empathy and compassion, which are, in essence, forms of love. In our modern interpretation of Stoicism, we've come to understand that love, be it romantic, familial, or platonic, plays a crucial role. It's not about suppressing emotions, but about managing them healthily, and love, in all its forms, is a part of that process. The role of love in Stoicism, as we have seen, is complex. Stoicism doesn't reject love but asks us to approach it with wisdom and moderation. It encourages us to cultivate a love based on mutual respect and shared virtues, a love that contributes to our personal growth and harmony with the world around us. Whether love is necessary in Stoicism is not a simple yes or no question. It's a profound philosophical inquiry that invites us all to reflect on our understanding of love and philosophy. It encourages us to question, to explore, and to seek a deeper understanding of what love means to us and how it fits into our philosophical worldview. So let's keep the conversation going. Let's continue to ponder, to question, and to grow.